Are you ready to stop stress, anxiety, and low self-esteem from running your life? Join award-winning author Dr. Friedemann from Empowerment Radio as he addresses some of the most prevailing challenges in our day-to-day lives. Find out how you can use the power of your mind to overcome self-sabotaging patterns and build a solid foundation of confidence and self-respect. Learn cutting-edge tools and approach every day with great ease, joy, and purpose. This is the time to empower yourself. Now, here's your host, Dr. Friedemann Schaub.
Welcome back to Empowerment Radio. And we are talking about the subconscious, the power of the subconscious, and how to tap into it. And I believe we have a caller.
Yeah, we have Arch from San Diego. Welcome to the show.
Art, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Good to hear your voice and talk to you again, as always.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. What do you have a question? Do you want to share the power of your subconscious?
Yeah. My question is around beliefs and knowing how vital it is to having an awareness to and an acceptance and understanding of our beliefs. But what I want to ask you about is the difference between beliefs that we actively engage in forming and the ones that are somewhat chosen for us, and how to ask the question, like, is this my belief or is this a belief that was imposed upon me at a very young age that I've carried with me throughout my entire life? And how to discern the difference between the two, and then to kind of let go of those that maybe were victims to that belief versus victors of them.
It's a very good question. And I do believe that it's important to look at beliefs as something that may have not been our idea in the first place, or may have never been really a reflection on our reality. And I'm talking especially about beliefs that may have defined how we saw ourselves. I talked to a client yesterday who basically came to me about 6 months ago feeling that her life doesn't make any sense, that she is worthless, she was unmotivated, she felt like if she hadn't had her dogs, she probably would do something to herself. So it was a really bad situation. And looking at her beliefs, it turned out that she believed that she was fundamentally unlovable and that she was not good enough. And this had a lot to do with how she was treated when she grew up, especially by her father, who was always absent, or when he was there, he was very critical. But there was another belief that she never really thought about, which was the belief that she needs men to take care of her and to make sure that she's okay, and also give her a sense of worthiness. And so here is where the beliefs really came into a conflict with himself, because every time she followed the one belief that she needs someone, she chose someone who usually was not good for her because she didn't feel that great about her anyhow. As soon as that relationship then ended and that person, may have just rejected her, the belief of not being lovable came back in and again put her into this hole of depression. And then once again, the other belief came in and said, well, but you need someone to take care of you and to show you that you're worthy. And then she went out again. And so once you repeat this pattern of those beliefs, 5 to 10 times, of course, you end up like she in that feeling of being lost and life doesn't make sense anymore. Now, did she choose these beliefs, or did these beliefs, get imprinted on her? Well, it's both. What happens is when we are at this early age trying to figure out how the world really works, we are looking at feedback. We are looking how people treat us and how they make us feel. And we take it all very personally. So in her case, she took what her father did very personally. And she also took the need to belong or get love or get some sense of affirmation very personally. And so that's where these beliefs came from both sides, as a reflection on how she was treated and a reflection of the need that she had inside. Now, in the end, the bigger and more important question is not where the beliefs come from and tossing out all beliefs that somehow came from someone else. It's more important to ask yourself, are these beliefs still working for me or not? Is that really what I want to hold on to? And that's exactly the question that she asked herself. Is that really how I want to live my life? Because she realized what's missing in this whole equation is her taking care of herself. So she changed her beliefs after we did some really thorough subconscious cleanup. She changed her beliefs into beliefs of, I can take care of myself, I'm safe with myself, and who I am is enough. I appreciate myself, I believe in myself. So once she just chose, these are the beliefs that I want to really have. I don't have them yet. And this is not a light switch where you simply say, okay, magic wand, give me a new belief. This is really something you have to work on and you have to implement. But when she worked on those beliefs and made them more as the guidance or the framework for her life, everything turned around. Everything shifted. And she became much more self-reliant, so much more appreciative for who she is and who she can show up as in the world, much more content. And even though she is in a relationship now, she doesn't need the relationship. When her boyfriend freaks out, she's fine. She says, okay, you have your temper tantrum. I go and call me when you feel better. There is no direct relationship to her worthiness to how she is treated. She is her own source. And that was only possible after years and years of trying everything and nothing worked. It was only possible when she worked with her subconscious on changing those beliefs. So to answer your question, Art, always look at your beliefs and ask if they are still holding you back, maybe in survival mode, if they make you smaller, if they somehow send out signals of this is not possible, if they warn you of something that doesn't exist, if they question what you're capable of doing, if you have more evidence that these beliefs are not true than they're actually true. If you just really revise every year once your core beliefs, you will probably every year replace some of them because you realize, well, that's not really working anymore, or this belief keeps me in some kind of a comfort zone. Doesn't make me really grow. It makes me more kind of stagnant. And then you choose a new belief, and that new belief makes just that, again, that framework bigger, something to grow into, like a bigger pot for a plant. And then you fill it out. And then after a year, you revise it again and see what those beliefs are that you want to hold on to and what beliefs you want to replace.
Awesome. Yep. It's so important to know that we to have the awareness to ask the question and then let your emotions, the low vibrational emotions, be the indicators that there's questions that need to be asked, and then adapt and move forward. Cool.
That's exactly right. So thank you very much for calling in. And it was very nice to hear from you. And I want to talk about what just Art said, that, this connection and this feedback about emotions is crucial. So the question of today's show is, how do we befriend our subconscious? How can we connect to it? And it starts with first realizing that your subconscious is on your side. It's not your enemy, and it's not supposed to be battled. Your subconscious is like a inner protector, a bodyguard, a Rottweiler, a shepherd, whatever. You just want to think about your subconscious as that part of your mind that was eagerly trying to keep you safe and maneuver you through life without getting hurt. Now, it was operating under certain assumptions. that you're small, or that you're dependent, or maybe you're not lovable, or maybe you're not capable, simply because it felt, well, if you do already have your hopes small, and if you have your expectations, just adjusted to the reality of a child, you cannot really get hurt. You cannot really get rejected. And of course, the other way is true too, where you may feel you're only lovable if you accomplish a lot, or if you're the best, or if you're perfect, then you belong. And that's the same thing. It's an old playbook that the subconscious wrote early in your life. And the subconscious won't change unless you take the lead. This is where you need to choose to say, I don't want to fight my subconscious. I want to guide my subconscious. I want to collaborate with my subconscious. I want my subconscious to be in the passenger seat, maybe giving me some ideas and directions, but I want to be in the driver's seat. So your conscious mind needs to be the one that chooses what changes you want to make, or what potential you want to tap into. And for that, you're just going to start having a relationship with your subconscious by centering yourself. I would suggest anyone just to every day check in with yourself. 5 minutes in the morning, you breathe, maybe thoughts are coming up, and we know that we are often told, well, let those thoughts just go. Let those thoughts just move out of your mind. They are a monkey mind chatter. And I don't agree. All of those thoughts have something to say. And yes, maybe it sounds like chatter, but there is a theme and there is an emotion underneath it. And rather than being afraid of our emotions, or feeling our emotions are something we just have to witness and then let pass, why not looking at these emotions as something that tells us where we're at? Maybe there is a concern. Maybe you feel like, well, there is an emotion of anxiety because I'm about to ask for a promotion. And maybe there is an anxiety about, what if I don't get this promotion? Maybe it's better not to ask. And so you just sit with that and you look and you tune in. And when you tune into your subconscious, the magic about this is that your subconscious already feels like, oh, someone is listening and someone wants to actually help me to maybe resolve this issue. Because your subconscious needs guidance, and it needs someone that it feels safe with, that it can trust. And that is the conscious mind. Like in my client's case, she was just looking always for men to take care of her and make her feel safe. And she never really felt this for herself. And when she did, her whole life changed. And most of us that are in that subconscious sabotage mode, how we used to see it, or survival mode, really look more on the outside for approval or safety, and not so much on the inside. So the subconscious doesn't really have a trusting relationship with that more conscious mind, and that's how it starts. You listen. So now you're aware of, what are my thoughts? And then you dig a little bit deeper and you wonder, so are these thoughts connected to beliefs? Is there maybe a belief from the past that still says, I'm not good enough, or it's not safe for me to stand out and be seen, or I shouldn't have my hopes up, life is not easy? And once you know those beliefs, just like I talked with Arch about, then you can ask yourself, are those beliefs really still valid? Are those beliefs still helpful? Or are those beliefs no longer a reflection of my reality? I have outgrown them. I just still hold on to them, just like you outgrow your shoes, but you still may wear them. And at some point they ache and they hold you back and they don't make you move forward. So beliefs needs to change like this as well. And you can choose how to change those beliefs and what you want to have instead. Now, a belief is not an affirmation that you just repeat over and over again in your head. Your subconscious doesn't understand that. Your subconscious actually doesn't care about your words. Your subconscious understands so much more emotions and sensations and things that you visualize, and also experiences. That's why when you have a new belief and say, okay, I can reach the goals I want to reach, or a belief of I do appreciate and love and believe in myself. If you have those words in your mind, you want to feel something about them. Otherwise, the subconscious says, well, are you talking just, Albanian to me? I don't understand a word. So you want to feel what this could feel like to appreciate you, and what this could feel like to believe in you. And that is often when it gets a little bumpy at the beginning. But don't worry, you have a beginning. And if you cannot feel something, at least you can visualize yourself. You can visualize yourself doing things that would show you that's how it looks like when I am confident, or when I feel I care about myself, or when I feel that I deserve to have what I want. And so you go in your mind through little examples of how you want to show up in those certain situations. Now, that already creates for your subconscious like a new opening. It's like it had the old screen with all the old stories, and now you're blasting in the screen of your mind a new version of yourself, and your subconscious at least has something to choose from. But again, it's a process. Your subconscious doesn't say, oh, I'm letting go of my protector mode now because obviously there is a new idea. And no, the subconscious cares way too much about you to do that. So your subconscious says, well, let's see what's going to happen. And that's when you, in your conscious collaboration, have to say, I show up with commitment, with clarity, and with consistency. And what that basically means is you have to commit to working with your subconscious, listening to your subconscious, and then following through with whatever you say you want to do, whatever your goals are. That's the clarity piece. And consistent is doing it every day, not overwhelming yourself. You don't have to meditate for 2 hours or visualize for 3. You just do every day 5-10 minutes. The consistency comes then when you are following through. So let's say, for example, you say your new belief, just to make it easy, is I love and care about myself. Well, wonderful. So that means, how do you show up? Maybe you don't have your triple espresso or Red Bull energy drink, but you have maybe just a tea. Maybe you're not just working while you're having lunch, but maybe you go outside and sit on a park bench and eat while you're chewing 30 times. All of those little steps that show your subconscious, oh, this person actually does care. This person pays attention. Make already a dent in this old belief and will make your subconscious more open. Also, when you have a negative feeling or a negative thought coming up, the worst you can do is getting mad at it and feeling like, ugh, here it is again. I hate the way I'm feeling. I don't like this anxiety. It's so stupid. I shouldn't do this. All that frustration is creating a defense in your subconscious mind. It makes your subconscious just feel like, okay, you're just exactly like dad, so forget about it. I'm not listening to you because you're scary. So you have to turn it around. And you have to tell yourself, I am actually now kinder to my anxiety and to that part of me that still feels insecure. And so rather than fighting it, I am redirecting it. So if there is a little voice inside of you that may feel like the inner critic or may feel like the Daisy Downer, you just say, don't worry about it. I got it covered. Let's focus on that, what is good and what's working well. Let's go into visualizing what we really want. Let's see already how far we came. Be patient. Your subconscious has for decades taken care of you. You can now spend at least a few months consciously taking care of your subconscious. Now, of course, after those few months when your subconscious made the shift, it doesn't mean that you go back into ignoring it. But right now, at the beginning, when you're really harnessing the potential of your subconscious, by making your subconscious get out of protection mode and into more the thriving mode, you just want to give your subconscious a little bit more attention than maybe you have to do in the long run. Now, it's very important to know that your subconscious has probably a lot to offer for you that you were not really aware of, because it was all hidden under that filter, under that blanket of anxiety or insecurity or self-sabotage or feeling you have to be perfect. And what comes out are those things that may more define who you really are. And so for this client that I talked about, for her, it's a lot about creativity. She was always very creative, and she was always someone who had really wonderful ideas and fantasies, but that all got stifled through that layer of feeling small and powerless and unlovable. So as soon as that layer lifted and the subconscious let go, she was in a creative surge. She was feeling like so excited about doing things with her apartment and with her art, and that is what you can expect to happen too. So if you do remember maybe back in the days when you were little and you think about the innocent self, and you remember how you love to sing, or you love to do little skits, or you love to be in nature, or you love to be in the water, and everything just somehow disappeared. You became serious, or you became scared, or you became somehow depressed, and you're working with your subconscious to shifting all of that. There may be these moments when you feel all of a sudden the urge to sit in the swing in the park, or to go swimming, or to be back in, somehow a musical situation and practice an instrument or sing in the shower. So you want to let that what had been stifled come through, because there is a lot that our authentic self still has to offer to us when the subconscious stops trying to protect you and is looking for making you happy and making your life more fulfilling and purposeful. So you work with your subconscious on a conscious basis. You listen, you tune in, you respond to the little voice that may still give you some negative thoughts with emotions, with visualizations. You change the framework of how you want to see yourself, how you want to see the world, and you grow into it. You follow through with action, small action. It doesn't have to be perfect. Small, daily, consistent, committed action. And then at the end of the day, you need to feed yourself back appreciation and gratitude. See, the subconscious is used to, when it is in the survival mode, to get as a feedback, maybe a moment of, thank God it's over, or some kind of a sense of relief. Now I can hide under the blanket. That's all it gets for, good job, you kept me alive, you protected me. Now, if you make your subconscious look more for that bigger belief, that potential expression of thriving, well, the subconscious needs a little pat on the back. And that is when you are every night think about, what did I appreciate about myself today? What was really so cool about, for example, slowing down at work and having a compassionate conversation with a colleague who just is going through a rough time, or spending a few minutes during the lunch break to already think about the next vacation and really looking forward to playing in the sand, or being really able to be in a work situation that usually was scaring you, but showing up calm and confident and knowing that who you are is enough. If you are feeding back every day a little bit of that positivity, your subconscious will continue to serve you and will continue to be on your side and help you to just more and more unfold into that true, authentic self, tapping really into your complete potential. Well, the message of today is trust your subconscious mind. Be interested in your subconscious mind, connect to your subconscious mind, and know that your subconscious has a lot to offer that you may not always feel so connected to. So if you have any questions, if you want to work with your subconscious mind, if you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper with your subconscious mind, just go to the fearandanxietysolution.com, my website, or send an email at info@thefearandanxietysolution.com. I'm certainly happy to chat with you and see how I can help you to go into subconscious and conscious alignment. Until next time, goodbye.